Sayso 100. Sayso 100. Like basically, like y'all niggas did this, and he got to take the rap for y'all.
Yeah.
Long story short, they dropped the charges or whatever because it was off the premises of where my party was, and that was my last time doing high school parties. That was my that was my intro into saying I got to do something else in my life besides throwing parties.
Yeah.
That was God's way of saying this was fun, but it's time to grow up.
So the party, was that your first hustle? That was your first. That's what.
Nah, I sold candy in high school. Yeah. I've been hustling, you know. But it was So when I was 22, I started DJing at 24. I'm 30. I just turned 30. Oh shit. So yeah, so appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I started DJing at 24. Me starting to DJ. So you got a couple like jobs, right? That are hood jobs. Like you know what I'm saying? I used to be a barber. And when I went to barber school, all the barbers, most of them, 90% of them was hood niggas. They were fresh out of jail. And I used to ask, why are all hood niggas trying to be barbers? And they say they don't check records. So I realized the damn jobs that I'm picking is hood jobs. DJing, tattooing, barbering. So anyway, so I would say, okay, boom, I'm gonna be a DJ. But I only became a DJ because I used to work at the oil refinery. Mm-hmm. And the oil refinery would pay, I was 22 years old, I was making $1,000 a week. Yeah. That's bread. You know what I'm saying? That's bread. I didn't know, you know what I mean? So one day I walk in and they was like, they said you fired. Just basically like that. Like we gotta let you go. I'm like, why? It was like, it's too many people. We gotta let some people go. You one of the people that got picked. And at the moment, I had just got a car. You know, you got this $1,000 a week check. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Yeah. I had went to go in my apartment. I had paid for all this stuff. As soon as I signed my lease for the car, they fired me the next day. Damn. So I ended up losing the car. They repoed the car. I ended up losing my spot, and I was homeless. I was homeless living in my car. Then they repoed my car. Yeah. So I was literally sleeping. I don't have a big family. I was sleeping on benches and shit at fucking beaches. And I remember thinking like my life is up to me. Like nobody's gonna save me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no female. Like female, at worst they can sell pussy. I can't even sell that. I'm a nigga and nobody care. That's a fact though. That's what I was thinking about.
Hey, that's the funniest shit anybody ever said.
At worst, as a female, you can sell coochie.
I can't even sell pussy.
I can't even sell
what
it.
What am I gonna do?
So that was my intro to saying, look, I never want to be fired again.
For real.
That was nobody's ever gonna tell me you can't make no more money.
Yeah.
Or this is what you worth. So my intro to becoming an entrepreneur was being fired at a time where I didn't want to be fired. I couldn't have been fired. I was homeless. Nobody cared. Nobody knew that. I just looked like you step over homeless people. I'll get it together. Yeah. That's how they looked at me, like just dirty. And that was the beginning of me saying, look, this is the beginning. This is my life. I never want to be fired. And to this day, I haven't been fired. You can't fire DJ Sayso.
Yeah, I'm me. Exactly. Yeah. Now, you at rock bottom.
Yes, sir.
What was the first thing you did? How did you dig out of that? You feel me? I know, you were in DJ at the time?
Nah, this was before DJing.
Okay.
This was before DJing. I had a couple real life talks with myself, just being an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. The black culture make you feel like when you 18, you an adult, but right. You're not an adult. Your mindset ain't fully there. You really don't kick in till you're 25, where you feel like, all right, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? And my mama, on my 18th birthday, she kicked me right out. Boom, get out. You got to do your own shit. So just a lot of those, you know what I'm saying? But when I hit the rock bottom, I remember saying to myself, I can't get no worse unless I go to jail. Mm-hmm. I'm homeless. What you want? Well, what I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? So it was like anything better than this is something. So I thought about it. I remember one of my boys was like, man, you always got a knack for music. You love, you pick great music, you know? Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of went from just, somebody giving me a speaker and I'm playing from my phone to a girl turning 18 and she needed some music, so I did it. Then I bought my own equipment and things like that. So it built up from the bottom. There was no handouts. There was nobody saying, I'll see you, let me help you out. Just from scratch. So yeah, man, that was a tough time. And I have other times that was tough, but I think that was my lowest point where it was like, I remember on a bench, and I just remember like waking up, but I didn't open my eyes, and I just remember crying, and I just remember like this is my life. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my life, bro. Like I'm crying, but my eyes ain't open because I'm still asleep. But I remember waking up before I even open my eyes, I'm crying, and I had a dream that I had died. You know what I'm saying? And nobody knew it. Like nobody. I wasn't DJ Sayso then. You know what I'm saying? I was Skylar. You know what I mean? Nobody knew. Like nobody cared. It just was like, you dead. You know, they buried me and it was like no funeral, no nothing. Just because I didn't have the unit, the family that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So that was a hard time for me to remember that. Like, I'm not even trying to kill myself. I feel like I'm just finna die on this bench. You know what I mean? So it was partial suicidal, but it wasn't like I wanted to kill me. It was like, I can't survive. I'm not a functional human. So that's what built that drive in me to say, man, I got to do something in my life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
That's real powerful. Because
Yeah,
I know even me, I think I faced the problem with just like being comfortable. You feel me? Like I don't know if you know that. I know Jeffy, I know this, but I'm an electrician. You feel me? That's my day. You know, I'm doing the box thing. I got the podcast. But I think the reason why people don't pursue what they really want to do, as far as the entrepreneurial when starting their own business, is because they too comfortable.
Of course.
You feel me? They too comfortable.
Comfortable, man. You got to stay comfortable in being uncomfortable, right? Because uncomfortable is where the growth happens. Like for example, if you lift weights, you don't get strong by the first 2 reps. You don't start building muscle until them last 5 reps.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you bam, okay, that's easy. But when you get to that point when you rip the muscle, that's when your body is saying, okay, now it's time to grow. Yeah. So, you know, Ali used to say, you know, like how many steps do you do? Say, I don't know. I don't count until it starts burning.
I don't care.
I don't know. The work start when you get hard.